Hey, gang. Thought we'd have a little fun producing a commercial together. So what I've got is an automotive commercial. And I've been doing a lot of these, this kind of thing this spring and summer. And so I thought I'd write one and do one as kind of a little demonstration. Okay, so first I will read the part, and then we will work on bringing in some music and sound effects and tie it all together. Okay, so I'll bring you into my little script here. This is for GM parts, and what I'm looking for here is a read that is pretty right down the middle, kind of a little bit of an attitude, but not like, some bad mother trucker. Nothing like that. Hopefully it'll make sense. The atmosphere or the concept here is confidence and how being confident. Well, being confident in your car because you've got genuine GM parts in your car. Ta-da! There it is. The genius advertising executive that I should have been. Right. Okay. So let me fire up Audacity, which is my typical recording software, and make sure my levels are okay. Yeah, that's about right. Okay, let's give this a couple reads. I'm going to read it a couple times just to make sure that I have what I want from my own performance. I've got a pretty good idea of what I want. I wrote it, and I know what I'm looking for, so I'm going to read it a couple times, and then I'll choose the best one, or what I think is the best one that represents what I'm going for here, okay? Okay, here we go. Confidence. It's a satisfying feeling you have when all your systems are on point, running at peak performance. Confidence is not having to wonder if you're truly up to the task. And if someone has the audacity to question you, well, you know what to do. Genuine GM parts. Okay, that felt pretty good. So I'm going to read it again, just to have two to listen to and to see which one I like best. Okay. Confidence. It's a satisfying feeling you have when all your systems are on point, running at peak performance. Confidence is not having to wonder if you're truly up to the task. And if someone has the audacity to question you, well, you know what to do. Genuine GM parts. Okay, that's that. So I'm gonna listen to these back to back and make a decision, and I'll be back to lay in some music and sound effects. So join me right back here, like right now. Okay, we're back. I've reviewed the audio. I've put on my headphones because I'm going to be listening. And also I mostly don't want feedback coming from my speakers into my microphone while I'm also speaking. And anyway, it just gets all muddled up. So anyway, so I've chosen the take that I want to use. So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to do my production values on this piece of audio. So what I typically do is, as you've probably seen in other videos, is I lower the amplitude by minus 13, a value of minus 13 on the head and tail section of my clip, along with all the breaths. I lower them by 13 decibels. Why 13? I don't know. I like the number 13. And besides, it's right in I usually go somewhere between minus 10 and minus 15, depending upon what I'm working on. This is a commercial, and so I want the breaths to really fade into the background. I don't want them to be gone, but I want them to be definitely in the background. And with the music on top of it, they'll be pretty much gone anyway. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Now, I'm using a hotkey in Audacity so that it's an effect called, well, it's not really an effect. It's a function called repeat last effect. So all I really have to do is look for the breaths And I don't bother with anything. I don't bother with anything that I don't see in the waveform. Like right in here, that might be a breath. Let's listen. Not really. I mean, there's a little something there, but you know, if I see it in the waveform, I'll treat it. But if not, I'm not going to worry about it because it's already pretty darn low. Okay, so we've done that function. Now I'm going to use a light noise gate. Oh. So as you can see, these are the values that I have here. It's something that I use all the time. It's very gentle. So I'm going to apply that over the whole track. Now I'm going to adjust the amplification. I like to adjust up to -3. And so right now it's pretty low. It's at, I've got 11.46 decibels of headroom here. This is how I do it. You can just use a normalize function. I just use amplify. So I just come up to about where I want it to be. And so that brings me to 8. Okay, now I'm going to put a limiter on this. 4.6. I'm just going to limit the very tops of the peaks back down to -4.6. As you can see, everything just got trimmed down a little bit there. Now I'm going to go back and amplify again to -3 or thereabouts, and I've got 2.59 decibels of headroom. So I'll just go 2.5. Okay, now the last thing I'm going to do is add a little compression. Now what I'm using here is Legacy Compressor. It's something that I'm just used to. It's got fewer. It's got fewer bells and whistles, but it has the values that I'm used to. It's very stripped down. I don't need a lot of fluff with what I'm doing here. I set the threshold at -12 dB, the noise floor at -40. The ratio, I'm going to turn that down a little bit to say, 1.6 to 1. Attack time, I want that real quick. Release time, same. Makeup gain, 0. Compress based on peaks? Not necessarily. Let's see what happens when I apply this. Confidence. It's a satisfying feeling you have when all your systems are on point, running at peak performance. Confidence is not having to wonder if you're truly up to the task. And if someone has the audacity to question you, well, you know what to do. Genuine GM parts. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I think that sounds just fine. Okay, so what I want to do now is, sorry, I'm just moving something out of my field of vision. Now it's time to bring in some music. So we're done with the voiceover at this point. So now I'm going to come up here to File, Import, Audio, and I'm going to go to my libraries, to my audio files, my sample music file, and then I have one. I've got a whole bunch of files and things like that. A whole bunch of music in here. I've got a selection that I like. I keep my production favorites in one file, easy to get to. And I think this one's called Dark Abstract Beat. So I'm going to import that. Obviously, it's a stereo file, and that's fine for what we're doing. Well, let's keep it as a stereo file. I'm going to mute this, and right now I'm going to go ahead and reduce the amplitude of this by -10. Oops. Amplify, -10. There we go. Now, what I wanted for this, let me just tell you what I had in my mind. I wanted something modern sounding and atmospheric, excuse me, and still have a little ruggedness to it. Modern, rugged, atmospheric, just cool. So there's a place in here where I think maybe it's right in here. Let me expand this. That's it right there. So essentially what I want to do is I don't want to start from the beginning. Or even here. I want to get into the part of the music where some percussion comes in, and that's right here. But I want to fade into that. So I'm going to come back here. Okay, so bear with me. I'm going to kind of skip ahead a little bit here. Well, not skip ahead, but what I'm doing is I'm deleting the part of this music that I do not intend on using. So I'm just going to go like that. Now, okay, now I'm going to highlight this section and use fade in. Okay. Confidence. Okay, that's not quite what I want yet, and I might actually have to do a little fiddle-faddle with the music. Confidence. Yeah. I'm going to see if I can... Actually, I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. I'm going to copy this and paste it right back in. Confidence. I'm going to move this back. See, what I'm doing here is this is the part of production that I love. Timing. Lining things up with music and sound effects so that it clicks where I want it to click. So obviously I want the word confidence to... It doesn't have to completely fit in that pause in the music, but I want it to be right in there. I want it to... There's something about it that I want. Confidence. That's pretty good. Confidence. It's a little faster this way. Confidence. Confidence. It's a set. Confidence. It's maybe a little more of a pause here. I'm going to copy and paste that again. Confidence. Yeah. It's a satisfying feeling you have when all your systems are on point, running at peak performance. Confidence is not having to wonder if you're truly up to the task. And if someone has the audacity to question you, well, you know what to do. Genuine GM parts. Okay, now obviously I'm only going to use that much of the music. So I can go ahead here. I'm going to keep a tail of it there just so that I have enough to play with. I'm going to delete the rest of this. Okay? Yeah, now I will expand this. And I'm going to bring in a sound effect. Right in this area here, well, you know what to do. I want to have a tire squeal. Okay? So I'm going to go back up here to File, to Import, Audio. Okay, it's not going to be in Production Faves. I have another file here for sound effects. Right here. And let's see. It's this one. Okay, now let's have a listen to what this offers us. I'm going to go ahead and reduce the amplitude of this already because I know it's going to be too loud. So -10 again. Oh, okay. Now I'm going to take this and copy it right in here. Okay, so I'm going to unmute the vocal. Let me zoom in a little bit here. To question you. Well, you know what. Okay, that's not where I wanted it. I wanted it here. You know what to do. Genuine GM parts. Now I want one more little tire squeal at the end. You have when... That one. This is fun. Okay, right Here. Okay, let's try that again. You know what to do. A little further back this way. You know what to do. Genuine GM parts. Okay, I want this one a little tighter. GM parts. Yeah. Okay, now let's see where we are with the music here. Confidence. It's a satisfying feeling you have when all your systems are on point, running at peak performance. Confidence is not having to wonder if you're truly up to the task. And if someone has the audacity to question you, well, you know what to do. Little further back here. You know what to do. Genuine GM. Okay, now this is not loud enough, so I'm going to add 5 decibels. May as well do that to this one too. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I did not want to paste. I wanted to repeat last effect. Okay, try that again. You know what to do. Genuine GM parts. Okay, now, where do I want this to fade out? Genuine GM parts. Right in here. So I'm going to trim this off, and I'm going to start the fade right about here. Fade out. Okay, let's try that. You know what to do. Genuine GM parts. There. Okay, now let's take it right from the top again. I'm kind of wondering right now if the music is a little too loud. I have a tendency to downplay the music a little bit in favor of the voiceover. I'm wondering if for this I might want to leave it up there. So, and also it might be a little bass heavy, at least it is in my headphones. I'll be, this is just a demonstration. So if I were to be creating somebody's demo, whether it's mine or somebody else's, I'll be listening to this on a variety of speakers, just to see. I'll be testing for things like that. Not only the levels of different items within the recording, but also the EQ. Okay. Confidence. It's a satisfying feeling you have when all your systems are on point, running at peak performance. Confidence is not having to wonder if you're truly up to the task. And if someone has the audacity to question you, well, you know what to do. Genuine GM parts. Maybe just a little back further. You know what to do. Genuine GM parts. I like that. So I think that sounds pretty cool. That's about what I was trying to achieve right there. So as you can see, there's not a lot of this. Well, let me take my headphones off. Hang on just a second. So as you can see, there's a lot to this in terms of feel and taste. I mean, personal taste and how you like to, mix things. But in terms of finesse and messing with EQ and compression and things like that, sure, you can do that all day till the cows come home. But I don't think it's necessary for things like demos. If I was producing a commercial, I might tinker around with this a little more. And frankly, yeah, if I was building this commercial for somebody else, like I said before, I'd be listening to this on a number of different speakers and players, phone, whatever I've got around the house, maybe even in the car, just to make sure that everything is present, everything is mixed well, the EQ sounds correct and isn't boomy in any places or sounding thin and lifeless. But anyway, I just wanted to give you a little taste of what producing something like this would be like. So I hope you found this helpful. I've been Jan Anderson. I hope you've had as much fun watching me do this as I've had. And if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts about what I've done here. If you have any questions, you want me to clarify anything, yeah, go for it. Be happy to have a little conversation there. Okay? So anyway, that's it for now. Take it easy.